So the hardest conversation I have to have with potential home sellers has to do with the sales price of their house. And when I talk to a home seller, they tell me two things. The first one is they don't want to give their house away. And the second one is they want to price it slightly higher than it should be so they can allow room for negotiation. So I agree with you that letting someone buy your house at an absurdly low sales price is completely ridiculous. And I'm not going to let that happen. I would not be acting in your best interest if that occurred. Now, but I do disagree with you that you should price your house so that you can allow room for negotiation. To me, that's a bad idea. It's a horrible strategy. So here are my 3.5 reasons why overpricing your house is a horrible idea. Number one, it scares away potential buyers. So today's buyer is extremely well educated. They know what homes are selling for, and they're not willing to pay for an overpriced house. So instead of trying to negotiate with you and trying to get a better sales price, they're just going to eliminate your property from consideration. They're going to move on to the next property. Number two, it wastes valuable marketing time. So look, a listing is the most active during the first 14 days on the market. After 14 days, activity levels begin to drop, and after about 20 days, they become almost non-existent. So it's critical you get people in the doorway during those first 14 days. And the easiest way to do that is to make sure you have it properly priced. That's usually the number one thing that gets people into the door. Now, after the 14 days or 20 days and you're not getting a lot of activity, then you're going to have to do something drastic to get people back in to look at your property. Number three, the property becomes stigmatized. Look, as the longer it sits on the market, then buyers and their agents begin to think there's a problem with the property. Now, most likely there's not going to be a problem. However, in their mind, there has to be a problem because only homes that have problems don't sell. Now, as the longer it sits, the less your leverage becomes with a potential buyer. In their mind, you're going to be more motivated to sell the property the longer it sits on the market. Number 3.5, potential appraisal issues. So look, if you're working with a buyer that's going to be getting a mortgage, then their lender is going to require an appraisal. Now, if the house is not appraised for the sales price or slightly higher than the sales price, then that lender will not give a mortgage. Now that means you're going to either have to cut the sales price and get it down so it'll qualify for the mortgage, or the buyer has to come up with extra money to make up the difference, which they may not have, and that way you lose the deal. Either way, you may lose the deal because it's been overpriced. But pricing your home competitively is one of the most critical steps in getting your home sold. If you're intent on listing your house higher than it should be, then be prepared to make significant improvements that add value to your home.